What's going on, y'all? It's Liam Crowley with Screen Rant. I'm here at South by Southwest, and we are talking to the folks behind Rocky. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
So, obvious documentary about the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is one of the craziest pieces of art of all time. I've only been to one performance of it, and I was like, I feel like I got my fix for 5 years. And other people go every 6 months. What's of each of your relationship with Rocky Horror?
Well, my dad created it in 1973 when it was just a stage play. And we've seen it go through so many incarnations throughout the years in different countries and different cities. So it's really become something that he says is not even his anymore. It's the fans at this point because of the longevity of the whole thing.
Yeah, and personally, I grew up around it a lot. As a kid, I never went to the midnight screenings because I think I was too intimidated by it. But working on this movie, I have, and they're pretty amazing. They're kind of spectacular to see, and I love the film for sure.
Have you seen a production of it since you guys made this documentary?
Yeah, we filmed at the New Art in LA and at the Angelica in New York. Yeah.
And how does it change your perception of it after going so in depth? Obviously, you have such a long connection to it, but
I mean, the commitment is something that's really quite strong, and it has stayed that way. And they have set pieces now as well, which I never saw before. They'll have props that they'll make and they'll put on stage, and so it really. They want to be, the people who perform in the shadow cast, they want to be inside the film. I think that's where it comes from. They want to be inside the house, and they want to be with Frank, and they want to be just such a part of it it compels them to perform in front of the screen.
Yeah, and you kind of started to answer my next question there. What you're assembling here, you have such, like I said, a long connection to it. Did you learn anything new about Rocky Horror that completely surprised you? You said some sets you hadn't seen before.
Oh well, the sets for the shadow cast put into the productions, but in terms of new information, it was really just the heartfelt and sincere love that they have for Rocky Horror. It's we always knew it was there as a family, but when we started, even me starting to delve into it, we uncovered a whole new layer of appreciation from the fans and what it means to them. So yeah, it was really touching.
And when we were writing this project, with documentaries, something I find so fascinating is not necessarily how you intend to write the whole thing. It changes as time goes on, especially when you're dealing with real life events. How close was your original script to the final product that we ended up getting?
Yeah, so I mean, the way that we write a documentary is we write an outline and obviously all the questions for people, and that's kind of a guide for us to go into the filming, so we have a clear goal in mind. But once you're done, the way that we worked on it together, it's basically you let the interviewees start telling you what the movie is, and you just want to let them tell their stories in an authentic way and not try to fit them into some sort of pattern or paradigm that you had in mind. So you really have to completely kind of throw that away and really let them tell the story, and kind of you're just a conduit for that. And you just want them to come off as authentic and as real as possible as they are.
And yeah, and sometimes you see a particular scene and you're like, oh my God, we have to have this in there. How do we do it and how do we shape it? And then that almost dictates where the story goes, because you're like, this is not leaving the documentary. So how does this work in terms of the whole piece?
Yeah, I was going to ask, were there any specific interviews that you were like, this really helps define the heart of this documentary?
I mean, everyone was truly amazing in their own right. There's such great storytellers, all the people who were involved with the original production, whether on the stage and the film, and then some people like Jack Black and Trixie Mattel who we interviewed, and they all had so much to say that, typically on the documentary you might end up with a wealth of material that you can't always use, and here everyone was basically kind of stayed in because they just had so much to add, and they all give a different flavor. But I mean, they were all so eloquent in their own way. Susan Sarandon said some beautiful things, and and also Tim Curry was amazing. So they all were really, as much as we expected from them, they still managed to surprise us with how well they came off.
Yeah.
And the people you assembled, how many of them did you know were like diehard fans going in, and how many people just kind of were like, "Oh, we want to be a part of this," and you're like, "I had no idea you're a big Rocky Horror Picture fan."
Well, it's mainly, to be honest, the documentary mainly consists of the original cast and crew. And so when we were researching, we really wanted Jack Black to be involved from the beginning because of his connection to Rock the Vote when he performed the Time Warp. And we knew that he'd have like some stories to tell, because you could tell it was not just a casual love for it. There was something deeper there. And Trix Mattel came to us through, who I think Trixie might have actually reached out to us and wanted to be a part of it because of the story that he wanted to tell. We had no idea, again, that a lot of what he has now today and built up was because of Rocky. It was the gateway for him to feel free and be able to express himself when he didn't fully understand who he was at the time.
And that even the name Trixie came from the Rocky Horror Shadowcast, because that's a character that they would have. So that's where the Trixie name came of.
Yeah.
So that stuff we found surprising as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy the amount of influence it has had over the years, and obviously it influenced making this very movie. We'll wrap with this one, guys. For people who are diehard fans of Rocky Horror, who have been to the show so many times, how do you hope this documentary, I don't want to say changes their perception, but kind of like evolves their perception, helps them find an even greater appreciation for it than they already do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the idea was that we'd like them to feel, if they don't feel liberated already, we wanted them to feel liberated by the end of the documentary. And also more than that, the main feeling is that as soon as you've watched the documentary, you want nothing more than to watch the film, see the play, or listen to the soundtrack. And if that's what you feel like doing, then we've kind of accomplished our goal. So
Yeah.
I hope that's the case.
Yeah, the other wonderful thing about Rocky is that for each individual Shadowcast, it's this lovely community. And I think they feel a sense of kinship and community amongst each other at different parts of the country and the world. But I think this movie really shows how that community crosses all these barriers, and maybe they feel even less alone when they watch the documentary.
Because Trixie says in the documentary he hopes that something like Rocky would be a relic right now, that we really wouldn't have the need to have it be an important part of the conversation, the current conversation. So the 50th anniversary and our documentary comes at a time when America is kind of in this whiplash kind of state, and so anything we can do to kind of highlight and be empathetic towards the LGBTQ community is something we'd be proud of if it helps.
Yeah, there's a beautiful mural I pass on my morning walks back in Brooklyn, and it says "The Healing Power of Art." I feel like that is true with this documentary, guys.
Right.
You should be very proud. Thanks for your time today.
No, pleasure. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.